Hello. Welcome to the Appendix Flush Podcast, Paranormal Edition. Jesus. This is ham-fisted as fuck. This is awesome. I'm Logan, and this is Ben.
Hi. And today we're gonna go over Mothman.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite dude.
Yeah, the Mothman episode. That dude that flies around and chases people in cars and shit and breaks bridges. And he's also in like a 2002 film called The Mothman Prophecies, which kind of sucks.
I haven't seen that one.
It's pretty bad.
I need to see it then.
It's really bad. He calls, I forget the actor's name. I think it's like Richard Gere or something is in it. But he calls Richard Gere on the phone and is like, hey, you're going to be fucked up, guy. And it's really fucking stupid. It's so bad. Oh, God. If I can find a still of it, I'll send that to you so you can see just how stupid it truly is. But, this whole episode is going to be dedicated to Mothman.
Now, I'll say, if you're coming to this thinking this is going to be an educated thing where you're going to learn about Mothman...
Boy, you're correct. You're man. Super right. Yeah, no. We are... I am what you would call a crypto expert, and so is Ben. Ben is also crypto expert, so we're really in there. We really know everything. Credible. Yeah, we truly know everything there is to possibly know about this creature. This fucking stupid shit from 1960s that was like fucking Sandhill Crane, and everybody freaked the fuck out because they thought it was a big moth creature.
Mothman is just... I'll say we watched that thing, what was it, Mothman... something.
The Mothman sightings.
Yeah.
We saw that on Discovery Plus, and that's what kind of sparked the idea that like, hey, we should talk about this on a podcast episode.
There's always been the stuff about Mothman, like he precedes disasters. There's that bridge. There's like the
Silver
fire.
Bridge. And then there was the town fire. There were a couple other things. Like people were linking it to like Hurricane Katrina at one point. It was really fucking strange. Like you'll just like link a bunch of just natural disasters, and they'll be like, oh yeah, 3 days ago before it happened, I saw Mothman over here.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a predecessor of doom and gloom. Whereas it's just totally mistaken identity. It's definitely just some big-ass bird, and people are freaking the fuck out. It's
probably an owl. Most
likely an owl. Yeah, it's most likely a barn owl, and they fucking saw it at nighttime, and its reflective eyes were like, oh my god, it was big. It does not have big reflective red eyes. That's fucking stupid.
And, like, what I didn't know until that is people link it to, like, being a supernatural entity, too. Like, I thought it was just people like, it's a big moth dude. He's scary.
Yeah. Well, like, in Point Pleasant, they actually have a big-ass statue dedicated to this fucking thing.
Yes.
And they have a festival every September.
We should go to the Mothman festival.
We should go to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and go to the Mothman thing. And we'll hang out there and be like... This is stupid, but this is funny as shit. I love it all. Oh, man. So we should probably preface this, I guess. For those of you who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, because neither do we, obviously, Mothman is a... I don't want to call it a fairy tale, because that means that... Like,
it's an
urban legend.
Yeah.
An urban legend that like came around in like 1966, I want to say.
Something like that.
I want to say that's about right. I could have looked that up, but here on Appendix Flush, we don't fact check.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit, right? No, so it was something along those lines, and like a couple teenagers were driving around, and they saw this fucking thing flying next to their window while they were going 100 miles an hour late at night on dirt roads in West Virginia, because that's smart in the first place.
Absurd,
yeah, because that's fucking smart. But yeah, they said that, this thing was keeping up with us, and we were going 100 miles an hour. No, the fuck you weren't.
In 66?
Yeah, in 66, no, the fuck you were not. There's no way. That's absolute bullshit. But yeah, no, they said like, the four of us all saw it, and they all gave the same testimony, which... Okay, granted, that's pretty cool. But at the same point, how long have these people known each other? They could have easily talked to each other the day before and been like, Hey, yo, wouldn't it be funny if we just, like, hopped in the car tomorrow and we all fucked with the police?
I feel like that's the case with, like, every one of these cryptozoological things. Like, one person is like, what if we told people we saw this thing?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
then
all it would take.
everyone else is like, oh, I'm seeing it now, too. And then it becomes a thing where crazy dudes with long hair and mustaches, not referring to Jack, go around saying, no, Mothman's real. He's out there. There's no question.
Yeah, Mothman's real. He tried to eat my ass 3 days ago. It was a predecessor of Doom. I ate Taco Bell and I had the shits afterwards. Like, how else can we explain this? But, yeah, no, this 6 foot tall creature that originally they were going to call Batman. I didn't know that, actually.
That's another thing I found weird because they're like, it looks more like a bat, but since the newspaper guy named it Mothman, all the art now makes it look like a moth.
Yeah. Which is
and
really
all the
weird.
reports are like, oh, it looks like a moth, when it originated looking like a bat.
Yeah, which that just leads further into this is complete horse shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. For those of you who are hoping we would go in depth on this and talk about how this could be real, no, this absolutely is not fucking real. And
There is not a chance in hell this is real.
no. I will say, we did another paranormal podcast at one time where we were talking about ghosts and stuff. And
Yes.
some of those are interesting. I think we disproved every one that we talked about, but they had way more credibility than Mothman does. Mothman has zero credibility.
We'll have to do a ghost one again.
Yeah.
Just, pull the ghosts out again.
Yeah.
Since the first one was lost again. Fuck my life.
It's alright.
Anyways.
Hey, you know what? We're not going to lose this one.
Nope, it's going to be on 2 hard drives. There's no way in hell.
You can't possibly lose 2 hard drives. You could lose one.
1 audio file, 2 hard drives.
Can't
Easy.
possibly lose it.
But
We got this idea though because we were sitting there watching it and we were like, wouldn't this be funny as hell just to talk about? Because we're sitting there watching these people who, like you said, long hair, weird mustaches and beards. I think one guy had a cowboy hat on.
yeah, one dude had a cowboy hat on, I'm pretty
And
sure.
we're sitting there listening to them talk about it like they totally believe it. They're like, oh, no, it's real. It's a demonic entity. It was sent by Satan himself.
That's the part I had never heard before, but then there was that couple who's like, Mothman's been haunting us for 10 years. He's ruined our lives.
Oh,
And-
yeah, there were those people. Fuck, I had totally forgotten about that.
That was the worst, fake ghost scene I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, yeah, let's set this scene up. We're gonna go into this abandoned building thing right here and set up some of this bullshit ghost finding stuff that actually does absolutely nothing because there's no such things as ghosts.
Yeah, it was
Anyways,
it was the thing that jumps between radio stations and you're supposed to be able to pick out words and stuff through it. Supposedly, I'm using air quotations, but
But then there was the obvious radio part where what do you want from them? And just you can tell it's just a normal dude blood.
yeah, no, he was just like blood. And it's like, no, the fuck, that was Tim, the producer, on the other side of the building. He needed content. Fuck out of here.
That
This
was
is so
just...
bad. This is almost as badly set up as a Logan Paul video. It's so fucking bad. You can't fucking do this shit. It was funny as hell, though, the entire time. We were sitting there watching it, and they had brought up, like you said, the whole church affiliation. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. What the fuck? I thought I was going to learn something new. And then it turned out, no, we brought in an exorcist to help deal with this and talk to the paranormal spirit. All right, now we're just bullshit. Now we're really into the bullshit. And if you're one of those people who's I don't know, 12 or 13 and you still believe in Mothman, hey, good for you, man. I'm glad that you're having fun with it. This is a story I used to tell when I was in Boy Scouts. I'd tell it to the little kids while we were fucking just chilling out by a campfire. That's all this fucking story's supposed to be. It's a ghost story to scare children.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, if you're a grown-ass adult and you believe this shit, unless you live in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, get a hobby. Make a model train or something. That's at least more productive
Man, we just lost the entire cryptid subscriber base.
Not the entire one. For those of you who are like, you know what, maybe there are some cryptid people like me where they're like, yeah, you know what, Mothman is complete bullshit. But that Mekele Membe, though, that giant dinosaur in Africa, that's totally real.
Don't even get me started on Mekele Mbembe. God.
No, I mean, okay, we could have an entire podcast dedicated to Bigfoot, which we probably will do at some point in the future. But we're going to stick with Mothman here. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I don't believe any cryptid is real. Like, okay, the world's big enough. There could be weird shit out there that we haven't discovered that scientists can't fully explain yet. But that's the whole idea of science, is that you find something you can't explain, and then you find a way to explain it.
Yes.
Which is fine. We make scientific discoveries all the fucking time. I mean, for God's sakes, we didn't even know that there was a fucking rattlesnake, or it was a viper in Iran until 1997 that had a tail that looked like a spider moving around on the rocks. We didn't find that out until 1997. That thing's been there for centuries.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, yeah, scientists are going to discover a bunch of shit. That doesn't mean that it's a supernatural force. That means that we're fucking human and we're not looking in the right places.
There's always the scientific saying or whatever that the supernatural, if it's out there, is just the natural that has not been explained yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's nothing super about it.
No.
It's just, it's natural. It's fine. And, okay, on a small tangent before we get back into Mothman, because I know we will, I'm one of those people that I have had a Bigfoot encounter in my life. So I can't sit here and say I don't believe in cryptids in any way, shape, or form. I do to an extent.
Yeah.
I'm still skeptical as hell on most things. Mothman is included in those things. I think Mothman's a fantastic story. Like I said, it was fun for me to used to tell it in Boy Scouts when I was a teenager. Yeah. And I was scaring the daylights out of middle school kids that were joining the troop. As an adult, my fascination with the storytelling is completely gone. It's not real. It was never real. It was to get kids to go to bed scared as fuck and then wake up tired as hell in the morning. That's all it is. That's all it will ever be. If anyone sits there and tries to tell you, like, what was her name off of that? I don't want to dox her, so maybe I should stop from saying her name. The woman that we were watching that was like, yeah, I saw a Mothman like 3 years ago. We were just watching her, and she was like, yeah, I saw a Mothman like 3 years ago in my car in broad daylight.
I don't remember her name.
I remember her name, but I don't think I should dox her like that. That'd probably be pretty rude, especially on the first episode. But yeah, no, she's like, yeah, I saw a Mothman, and I was with my parents, and that's what got me into becoming a cryptid studier. It's like, no, you didn't. You saw a big bird in the sky, and you were a child, and it freaked you out. So, no, you fucking moron.
You just dedicated your life to something you were spooked by as a kid.
Yeah. Well, you might as well have just said, oh, yeah, I'm going to study the boogeyman because I thought that things were living under my bed at night. And, you fucking moron. like I said, pick up a model train set. I don't give a fuck what you do. Don't do the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, but, make yourself credible to an extent. Hey, fuck it. You don't want to be like that guy that we saw on TV that was his big thing was, I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's his claim to fame.
I'll say this one. At least Jeffrey Dahmer achieved something. It may not have been a good something.
He did not achieve a good something, but he did achieve something.
The man whose entire title is conspiracy theorist has never accomplished a thing in his life.
Yeah, that's really fucking sad. It's like, I don't know if you ever seen the meme that's gone around before, but it was, they were interviewing a child, and then, they had his age, and then underneath that, it's, the big credibility of, why he was on the show. And it was, Kevin, age 8, at the very bottom, was 5 at one time. Granted, it's a kid, right? Uh-huh. That's a little bit different. But if he goes through the rest of his life, and the highlight of his life was he was 5 once, Listen, I don't support suicide. But
Oh no!
but at some point, you gotta look in the mirror and go, is it worth the oxygen? Am I really worth breathing and consuming food? I gotta ask myself that. And I'm not sitting here on my high horse saying that I've accomplished a lot, but at the same point, being here on this podcast, I could at least put in the third thing, was on a podcast once.
Yeah.
That's better than being I was 5 once.
I love that we start the Appendix Flush channel with "Don't fuck kids," and then we start the podcast with "I don't support suicide, but
I think those are good hills to die on. Is don't fuck kids and don't kill yourself unless you've done more than be 5 years old." I think that's a great thing.
It's a good life motto.
If you're 6 years old and you're listening to this, don't kill yourself. But
if you hit 8 and your accomplishment is still being 5, then
think about it a little.
Mommy and Daddy probably won't miss you very much.
They probably have like 3 spare kids. They knew that you fucked up, but they're like, yeah, we're okay. We got a doctor or lawyer in this batch somewhere. We'll figure it out. We'll give up on this one, but the rest of them, we still got a chance.
Hide them in a closet somewhere.
Well, if they did hide him in a closet, then Mothman would show up in 3 days. And then as soon as they see him, that's when the suicide happens.
You know what thing I told Zeke to scare him? I told him if he stays up past a certain point of night, that Spippy and Juggles, the giraffe and zebra clowns, would come to him in his sleep. And what would happen is he would be stuck in this circus tent hearing the worst jokes and the least funny performances ever done, but it'll be like DMT, and it feels like he's in there for like 30 years.
You told Zeke this?
Yeah.
Isn't Zeke like 12?
I told him it a little while ago, and like...
Jesus fucking Christ. You're getting on me for supporting suicide at a young age for people who deserve it, but goddamn, that's heartless. That's fucked up, my guy.
Like, even now, he's just like, ugh.
Yeah,
Juggle.
But you know what? That has a lot more credibility than Mothman does.
Exactly.
Which is really sad to say. Because, like I said, I love the premise of Mothman. I think that's the whole reason that people are so fascinated by it and they keep making stories about it. It's because, like, the idea of something like that is really cool. If only it wasn't such bullshit that we could just dismiss it immediately. Like, if there was a little bit of credibility to that. Just a little bit. Not a lot.
If it wasn't just people seeing owls, you know?
Yeah. If it wasn't just, like, people seeing owls, we might have our next version of, like, the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Which, that was a great story by Washington Irving. That has more premise in the real world than Mothman does. You're telling me that an evil specter that has no head rides a horse around and throws fiery pumpkins at you before you cross a bridge? Or are you going to believe that there's a demonic entity that flies around that kind of looks like a bat, but people claim that it's Mothman and it supposedly breaks bridges and kills 40 people and causes Hurricane Katrina?
And during all of that, also takes the time to haunt a random couple for 10 years.
Well, that's just on his off days. He just does that for fun.
Okay.
I mean, you got to separate work and play, you know? Like, you can't just be all work and no play. It just makes Mothman a dull boy.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like, what would you rather believe? Would you actually, like, if you were not a skeptical, if you were just the most gullible human being on Earth, and I sat there and I said, hey, there's a 6-foot winged creature that is human-like, but it flies around and it causes disasters wherever it shows up. Or, hey, there's a ghost that rides around on a horse and he throws flaming pumpkins at people, but the ghost has no head.
I think I'd take the ghost.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what sounds more believable, and what do you want to go and actually see because you think there might be something to this?
The option is it's either a human ghost or a moth-human hybrid ghost.
Yeah, or a bat-moth hybrid. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? What sounds cooler at that point? And that's a toss-up. Like,
Yeah.
like, that could change every day. Like, some days I could wake up and go, I want to see that ghost that chases people on a horse, or I want to see that moth guy that flies around and causes hurricanes. Like, okay, fuck it. You know what I really wish happened? And this is going to sound terrible, and I hate that we're being recorded for me saying this. So
boy.
Yeah, he's taking his glasses off because I'm about to say some horrible shit. Could you imagine if back at the Sandy Hook shooting, if some crazy lunatic, just some unkept, unwashed Smash Brothers player, came out of his mother's basement and said, hey, I was taking photos of Sandy Hook Elementary for a year now. And just so happens that 3 weeks ago, I see this. And he photoshops a picture of Mothman on the roof. Do you know how heartless that motherfucker would have been? But also how much fucking fame and money he would have gotten for doing that? I'm surprised no one's done that.
Just over any disaster or horrible thing, just insert Mothman.
Yeah, just get a really blurry, crappy photo and then just like Photoshop 2 dots in there. And it's like, could this be a Mothman sighting at Sandy Hook? Could this be a Mothman sighting at the Pulse nightclub shooting? Like, you know how fucking lit that would get him though? Like, he'd get so much fucking money. If I wasn't such a heartless bastard, I would do it. But I have morals.
Yeah, a couple of those.
I keep them locked away with my balls, but, you know, they're there.
Yeah.
They're in a drawer somewhere over here.
And then we just watched... Oh, well,
Freaking Counters.
Freaking Counters, yeah, I had it right. And they decided... This show is the absolute worst. We only watched 2 episodes of it.
This is the best, worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I want to watch more of this.
Oh, yeah, we're going to watch more of this.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like Punk'd almost, except with cryptozoology as the pranks. And, like, in this one, and it's always like someone's friend is like, yeah, he's scared of this shit. And the premise each time is so bad. It's like, yeah, we're going to be filming a TV show where you work in the middle of the night for this, like, construction company.
Yeah, all right, because we've seen a couple of episodes of this, but you're talking about the Mothman episode. First of all, Freaking Counters is a TV show that I'm assuming is already canceled.
Oh, there's no way.
There's no way it's got more time. Yeah, no. I'm assuming this show's already canceled. But in legal states, if you are 21 of age and older, I would recommend that you get some Delta 8 or Delta 9 in your system. You get on Discovery Plus, and you find Freaking Counters on there. And you just sit back and enjoy the show. Because it is essentially, like you said, it's punked. They get real people that are signed up by their friends, and then they hire actors to scare the ever-loving daylights out of them with recreations of cryptids like Bigfoot, Mothman, aliens, all this shit.
Yeah.
And they'll scare the fuck out of them, and then, just like Ashton Kutcher's Punk'd, like, when it's time to reveal it, they're like, are you scared? Do you know what's going on? You're on Freaking Counters! And they're like, oh, you son of a bitch! I can't believe it! Oh, you asshole! Yeah, your friend Marcus set you up. He's an asshole, but God, he loves you. He thought this would be great. But they don't even go through elaborate pranks either. They set like 5 small fires in the woods, then made him run out there and look at him, and the guy went, like, he's just looking at these things going, like, the fuck is this? Like, why do you have an outhouse in the middle of the fucking woods and you got, like, 5 fires around it? And the guy that they were scaring was even the first one to be like, oh, this looks like a demonic thing. This looks satanic almost. Like, Are you fucking nuts? It's just some fucking fire around an outhouse. I don't think Satan's trying to go and summon a fucking portal to hell so he can take a shit in the outhouse. He'll do that at a Denny's. He doesn't need the wild woods. He'll do that in fucking New York. He'll do that here. Hell, he'd probably go next door. He'd go to one of those townhomes and summon a portal to hell. They'd probably have porcelain bathrooms. Why would he choose the fucking woods? You fucking Neanderthals.
That whole episode was the acting was atrocious.
Oh, I can't believe he fell for any of it.
There was the dude who I described as Tommy Wiseau in his acting style.
Yeah, no, there really was. I think because you did say, like, you are tearing me apart, Mothman. It's just fucking stupid as hell. This guy, a small tangent with Freak Encounters. Can we talk about the fact that he tried to barricade the door that opens the opposite direction of how he barricaded it?
And, like, you'll notice, like, after he does it, like, only, like, a few seconds later in it, it's moved back and he steps outside again.
Yeah,
and
like, even if this was real, this was your plan? Like, I get that it's a prank. I get that they knew that it was fake. Everybody except the guy being pranked knows that this is fake and this is an act. But I would have looked at that, I would have watched him do that and been like, are you fucking stupid?
I would have broken character, honestly. I would have just started laughing.
Like, at least the guy that was getting pranked had enough sense to just walk up and lock the door. And he stopped the guy from coming back in. The other guy didn't lock the door back. He just put a desk in front of this door that swings outward. Like, you fucking idiot. Like, I would have been so fucking pissed at that guy. If that was a real situation, I'd have been like, I'm throwing you outside. You are going to be cannon fodder.
You are Mothman food, you fucking moron. It's natural selection.
Oh, God. And can we talk about the red eyes that they used in the woods to try and, like, show off that, like, oh, yeah, this is Mothman. They kept pranking this guy by, like, early on they would, like, get these red lights and they would shine them looking like eyeballs.
It literally looked like they got one of those cheap-ass flashlights that, like, have color options and just kind of held them in front of their eyes like this on the red setting.
Yeah, no, it really does. It really did look like that. Like, there was no money really spent on this. I think the most money that was spent on it was from the ruler that they made the guy hold in the beginning. And I know we're giving spoilers to Freak Encounters, but this show's probably been out for years, so fuck you. If you want to watch it, please watch it, because we're not doing it justice anyways. But oh my fucking god, it was so fucking bad. It's not like this came out in like the 80s. This came out in like the 2000s, maybe the 2010s. I don't even know.
I think it's the 2010s.
Might be, yeah. It's just like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was like, what, maybe 11 years ago at most? I would imagine. I'm pissed. I love that show, but I'm fucking pissed at it. I'm so angry with Freak Encounters. It's my new guilty pleasure.
And then, I mean, yeah, it's just... That one was pretty bad. But the next one we watched was even worse.
Oh, Area 52. Oh my fucking god! When I saw that title, we both just were like, "The fuck is this?" I don't know, but we're gonna watch it because now I need to know.
I could not figure out what the premise even was because it started out with this dude like, "Yeah, I think I'm taking a job for like a law firm or something for the night." And then they get there, and it's like this dude in a suit and a dude with a camera like, yeah, look through all these papers. Look through all these papers.
Yeah, like, and they're heavy breathing the entire time. You're not even joking. They really are heavy breathing the whole fucking time. Like, it hasn't even been set up that this is a scary location. No. They're just acting like it already, like this guy already knows that this is dangerous or some shit. And he's just like, okay, yeah, I'll read these papers out to the camera. What the fuck? Yeah, sure, whatever.
That one, I would have picked up on that one very quickly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, as soon as that guy, in that, again, spoilers for Area 52, by the way, but as soon as that one guy moves the fucking filing cabinet and reveals a small hole and starts kicking the hole bigger to crawl through, no. At that point, I'm like, yeah, you fuckers, you already know. Because he even said, yeah, check that filing cabinet because we have to get the documents. And then goes, hey, wait, what's that? Let's move the filing cabinet. Like, that's not your fucking job. If it was really his job, what he should have said was, let's get documents from the filing cabinet. And then they would have been like, I'm curious, though. What is behind that hole? Help me move this thing real quick. And then they would have moved it back. That would have been way fucking smarter on their part. Instead, they just bull rush him right into this tiny fucking room that's very obvious that it's just a small piece of drywall that was hung up over a door frame.
Whenever they crawled out of it, the little piece of drywall came off.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't hard. It was a small little piece. Like, that would have been my first clue if I was that guy being like, I'm being punked. This isn't real. This is fucking stupid.
And then the moment you see that fucking alien hybrid man.
Oh, God.
Like.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, you describe this. Describe that alien hybrid to the people at home.
It's like they put the worst bald cap in history on this guy, and then used, like, it looked like painted plaster that they just put over his ears to make it look like he had no ears.
It looks like they just sprayed Mod Podge on top of the latex mask that he was wearing.
They gave him, like, a yellowish skin tone, and then just obvious red eye contacts.
Oh, yeah, no, it was bad.
And then, like, he was wearing, like, a t-shirt with, like, some numbers on it. Oh, and it's like...
I forgot about the fucking t-shirt. Oh, my God. It was like a... It was literally... It was a Gildan Press t-shirt. That they pressed a couple numbers on there. And they were totally fine with it. Like, yeah, no, that looks like an alien. Yeah, fuck it.
If there's no way any actual research lab would make this dangerous alien-human hybrid, put it in a tiny glass box that it can clearly break out of quickly, but also take the time to put it in some clothes.
Yeah, no, they put it in some clothes. They didn't even put a true breathing apparatus on it. They put like a small CPAP machine you get from Walgreens or something. They put it inside this tank, and they just have it like fitted to where it's just like laying over here. So the actor just has to put his mouth over it, and then when it's time for him to begin acting, he just stands up, and everything's totally fine. Like, no. If you're gonna make it look believable, have some shit, like, hooked up on him. Have him rip some shit off of him. Like, do something. Any fucking thing.
But nah, just dude in a fucking t-shirt. I'm sorry to the makeup team, but...
They probably didn't have a lot of budget.
You're never working for... an A-list movie. No,
not at all. No. The makeup department, God bless them, they probably had $20 to work with. I would imagine. True. Like, all the money was spent on the camera that they used. Because, literally. I will say, like, as far as the camera quality goes...
Pretty good.
It was pretty good. Yeah. Like, that's the one good thing that I can say about these guys. The acting sucks. The makeup and costume design suck. Good camera work. Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, good camera work. Storyboard, out the window. There was no storyboard. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But they knew how to set up a camera. So apparently that's all you need to get on a freaking counters.
I wonder if they had to do, like, multiple takes, like, multiple people. Like, if each storyline... And then they, like, choose the best.
That might actually have been it, too. Because I can't tell you how many times I was sitting there thinking, like, this had to just be the most gullible person. Like, there's no way. Because I imagine they probably had 5 or 6 people do that same one. And then they finally got the reaction they were looking for out of the last guy. And they were like, all right, yeah, this is the one that we're going to send to production. We're going to put this one on air. Because this one was good. And it wasn't good. Spoiler warning. It wasn't good at all.
No.
But, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, it got the reaction that they wanted. Because the guy in Area 52, much like the Mothman guy, were both like, that's fucking weird. But they weren't terrified. They weren't screaming. They weren't, like, cowering in fear. I don't think anybody cried.
No.
Like, they were just like, what's going on? Like, they were just as confused as the viewer was. No one fucking knew what was going on. It was not explained. Going back to Area 52 guy, the alien actor holds up his hand like he's doing some force choke shit.
That was so bad.
And they had two of the actors that were playing human roles that were supposed to be, like, helping the victim, like the person getting pranked, like, actually believe this shit. And he would, like, hold up his hand like he's force choking them, and they would, like, play it off like you'd see in the old, like, 70s Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Like, and then they'd fall down.
Yeah.
And then the one guy actually gets back up and goes and stands next to him. When they come out, because they have this big catchphrase, or the big tagline where it's like, do you know what's going on? Are you scared? You shouldn't be. You're on freaking counters. But, like, before he even says you're on freaking counters, the other guy that was supposedly just choked to death telepathically pops right back up and stands next to the victim and is holding on to him. Like, that would have been my first dead giveaway. Like, I guess it's fine.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, it's like, I thought you just got murdered. What happened? Like, you're okay. Like, not even, like, coughing or anything. Like, he pops right back up and it's like, oh my god, what's going on? It's like, it can't be that deadly. It can't be deadly at all. Oh, and then the Area 52 where the blood splatter.
Oh my god.
They had a, quote-unquote, a secret agent character, or a special agent, who was supposed to be walking around with them to give them clearance to go through Area 52. And he walks around, and he goes behind this tarp, and he goes in there, and then you hear him go, ah! And then, like, just... I think it was Heinz ketchup, actually, is what they sprayed on that tarp.
It was bright red. Like, blood is not...
It was comically blood red. Like, it was nowhere near real blood.
No.
It was... That was like... I looked at that and I went, this guy doesn't really believe
it
that
was
shit,
bright to the point where it could just be like the fucking syrup from those cherries, you know?
Yeah, it's cherry syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It really was. It looks exactly like that. I sat there and I watched that happen. I'm like, you... And this guy was still freaking out. Like, he wasn't really freaking out, but he was still, like, shook. He was like, what the fuck is going on? But I think that's just because he also thought, like, what are these people doing? Are they fucking nuts? Am I going to get killed because of these people? Like, I don't think he understood. I don't think he knew that there was supposed to be an alien. I think he just knew, like, these people are fucking nuts. They're weirdos.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would be a better premise for it. Is just lock you in a room with these actors, and you're told, hey, they're actors. And you're like, okay. And they're getting ready for a role. And then you cut the lights out. And then they start acting weird, and they do that terrible, shitty acting that they do. And you don't bring in a monster or anything. You just leave the weirdos to just do this weird acting. 10 times scarier if you're in that scenario. You don't see a monster. You don't see the weird fire, pyrotechnic shit going on. All you see is actor grabs an axe and is like, I'm going to protect this goddamn room from Mothman. If he tries to get in, I'm going to fuck him up. And then everybody else is like, Mothman's not real. It's okay, Mothman's not real. He's like, you don't know that. You don't know. And it's like, that would be 10 times scarier trying to deal with some fanatic that really believes that some shit's about to happen. And you're the guy that has no idea what's going on. And you're just like, Is he serious? What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh fuck. Oh shit. I'd be in the fucking corner of that room, like, putting shit in front of me, trying to hide myself at that point. Slowly, I'd just be putting boxes over my body, just so that way he'd be like, where'd that one guy go? It's like, I don't know. I don't know where I am. I think he's over there. Who said that? Cacaw. I'd be fucking with him at that point, but I'd be way fucking scarier.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should bring back Freak Encounters. If you want to be on Freak Encounters, the revised edition with Appendix Flush, send us an email at appendixflush@gmail.com.
We'll give you the closest thing to a Freak Encounters encounter you can have. Actually, email us and be like, yeah, my friend Jim needs a good spook.
Yeah, and you know what?
We'll give him
Fuck it, show him our content. That'll scare the shit out of him. He'll be like, holy fucking shit, what did I watch?
People thought it was a good idea to upload.
Yeah.
Weird.
Goddamn, we're like 40 minutes in already, and I think we've talked about Mothman, Mekele Membe, a little bit of Bigfoot, Area 52. We brought up everything.
We gotta save the Bembe.
Oh yeah, no, that's a whole episode in and of itself. But I gotta talk about this shit real quick.
Okay.
I have this book, right? It's Cryptozoology A to Z. It's by Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark. And I was like, when you were like, hey, let's do a Mothman episode, I was like, hey, great. I've got plenty of stuff around the house. I've got my laptop. I can pull up some stuff real quick, just as quick reference. And I've also got this book. I could use this book to help look up Mothman. Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark, what the fuck is your goddamn problem? And I'm blaming Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark because their names are at the bottom of the title of this book. So you two are responsible for not putting Mothman in here. And then as I'm looking through, you missed like a good 80% of cryptids. And this book is called Cryptozoology A to Z. That's not A to Z, motherfucker. I'm missing like 80% of the cryptids that I even know, that I know the stories of very well. You don't have Owlman, you don't have Mothman. I think you barely even talk about Jersey Devil in here. I think you have like a page, maybe? If even you can call it a full page, because I think you have a photo in the middle of it. So you really got like half a page about it. What the fuck is your goddamn problem? When did you make this? Why did you make this? But yeah, you'll take time to like talk about, oh, this is a cryptozoology hunter. This is an expert, and you'll put them in there. So I guess you just redacted cryptos to make place for experts in the field, and I'm using air quotes again.
Like, there is a large collection of just giant normal animals, like the giant octopus or the giant anaconda. But there's no Mothman in a cryptid book.
Yeah, you have a whole thing dedicated to megamouth sharks, which you already talked about how those are real, and hey, we found bodies of them in the Philippines and stuff. We found like 11 bodies since 1997. No Mothman.
There is the Goblin universe, apparently, though.
What the fuck is the Goblin universe?
I don't know. It says it's on... the phrase Goblin Universe is often applied to the Earth's supernatural and otherwise esoteric residents. Long ago, classification systems were created for legendary beings and entities of the Goblin Universe. As the anthropologist John Napier points out, this kind of sorting became so detailed that classical Greek mythology, for example, recognized 3 types of Cyclops. Wow.
So the Goblin Universe is just shit that we can't explain because we don't have the science to back it up.
Basically.
What a shit name for the
I expected it to be like you open a door and then suddenly
and it's a bunch of goblins
or
something. Yeah, that would be way cooler. What the fuck? You guys took a great name and you ruined it. You made something so boring and you gave it such a cool name. I'm fucking pissed. Cryptozoology A to Z, Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark. I'm mad at you. I want my money back. I got that as a gift, and I want my money back. I want my time back. Oh man, we could write a book.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write a book that's just called "Fuck Jerome Clark and Lauren Coleman: The True Cryptozoology A to Z." And I'm going to leave out every one of these people that you talk about and the fucking giant octopus and the giant anaconda and things that we actually know are real, and it's going to truly focus on cryptozoology. You fucking morons. I hope I never see you in traffic.
Boy.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yeah. God damn it. Well, I guess it's as good a place as any.
Is it as good a place as any?
We went everywhere.
We went everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
I know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Again, and I know we already talked about this. Mothman's not real. The story of Mothman is funny if you're a child. If you're a grown man and you're talking about Mothman, and it's not just to make fun of it, when it's unironically you're talking about Mothman, go home. Get some rest. Drink some orange juice.
Yeah, drink some orange juice.
Get a celery stick in one hand, a cup of orange juice in the other, and just game. Just fucking party. Crack open your Rockstar energy drink and play Mario Kart or something. Fucking nerd. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Hey, if you guys have any podcast ideas for the Appendix Flush, just message us at appendixflush@gmail.com. How else can they reach us, Ben?
Your pal Benjamin on Twitter. Basically it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got Twitter and you got the email. And that's at your pal Benjamin. And
yeah,
send him a thing. Just be like, hey man, I just listened to your podcast, and you can either say, I fucking hate you, or I fucking loved it. And you won't get a response because, fuck you. But I don't know. I shouldn't say that. We might respond to people.
Yeah, we probably will.
We probably will. Yeah, we'll probably be nice and we'll probably respond to people.
At least until we're really famous, and then fuck them.
Yeah, and then once we hit 200 views,
yeah, no, we don't need them.
Yeah,
we're above that filth.
200 views? Knock knock. Who's calling? Sponsors? Yeah, I don't need you guys anymore. I'm getting dollars from Raid Shadow Legends now to talk about Mothman again.
Yeah, so, you can subscribe.
Yeah, please do, actually. Please subscribe. We'll shit on more things. We'll shit on something you love. We might love what you love. But the only way to find out is if you keep listening.
Yeah. And, yep. Subscribe. You can buy our t-shirt. That's still a thing.
Oh, yeah, we have merch.
We have a t-shirt.
I forgot about that. I
should make a second t-shirt, too, just for this.
Can we have a t-shirt that says something like, Mothman ate my ass one day, and now I had diarrhea after Taco Bell or some shit? Can we get that on a t-shirt? I would buy that t-shirt.
I think I could work Mothman into...
Mothman ate my ass and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I hate it, but I love it.
That's a t-shirt I can never own myself, but...
Oh, I'll buy it.
Oh, I know you will.
I'll buy a tie-dye one. I'll buy a tie-dye t-shirt that says Mothman ate my ass and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. You know what? No, bright pink.
Bright pink.
Bright pink.
Right.
And you know what? We could actually just shorten it. We could just call it Mothman Rim Job.
Sounds like a horrible pop punk band name or song title.
Oh, that'd be a great song title. Are you kidding me? I'd listen to that song.
Mothman Rim Job.
Moth Job.
Moth Job.
You put a light next to your asshole and the moths just keep bouncing off of your asshole.
You gotta bleach it first, though, so the proper reflective properties.
Yeah, exactly. But no, if you shine a light on your bare ass cheeks in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, you might get a bunch of moths that bounce off of it, or you might get a 6-foot tall humanoid-like moth that comes over and bounces on your asshole. Either way, You'll find the finish line. Oh, that's vile. Oh, I hate that, actually. I hate that those words just came out of my mouth. That's so vile.
I don't know how to come back from that one. So, check out the next podcast when Logan comes up with something else to keep you from sleeping.
Oh, this is just Cursed Podcast.
Welcome back to the Cursed Podcast. Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
Subscribe below.
Subscribe. Like, comment. Well, you're not going to like this. Comment. Oh my god.